Hey everyone, Penross776 here. It's a legendary trailer. This, despite the fact that it's the wrong time of day and also several days early, you know what that means? Someone at IS just fired yet another intern, and it's Caeda, I think. That is Caeda, right?
I aspire to
Yeah,
and comfort to
it's
those I
Caeda.
protect.
Interestingly, three things I noticed. 1. Lance Flyer. 2. Water Season Legendary. And 3. That looked like a new legendary icon to me. That looked like kind of the pair up icon kind of smushed together with another icon. So I wonder what that means, honestly. In any case, it's Caeda from the original Fire Emblems, Mysteries of the Emblems, that sort of thing. Not really a character I particularly have strong feelings about as for her Fire Emblem Heroes version, at least, because Caeda's whole thing is... yeah. I guess she is in love, or supports love, or something like that. But, you know, Caeda. She does, however, have very strong categorization in terms of being effective against freaking everything, and also generally kind of leans in a sort of Vantage direction as well, at least based on what young Caeda has. So let's see what this legendary version does. Her weapon, her PRF, is the Wing-Lifted Spear. It enables Kanto 2. So, she's a 2-movement unit, she has 2 Kanto. Sure, why not? It's effective against armored and cavalry foes, dual effectiveness, grants attack +3. If unit initiates combat or is within 2 spaces of an ally, grants attack speed def res +5 to unit during combat. And also, if foe has bonuses, grants attack speed def res +X to unit and inflicts attack speed def res -X on foe during combat, where X is equal to the current bonus on each of the foe's stats. Calculates each stat effect independently. So she initiates combat or is within 2 spaces. She gets +5 to all stats, and she steals your buffs. Serves you right for running buffs. And she has Kanto too. So just generally a big stats weapon there. Not really any special effects besides dual effectiveness, which we all know is actually very special because you've got to kill armored units somehow, and cavalry units aren't so hard to deal with, but having cavalry effectiveness still really helps a lot nonetheless. She is equipped with Moonbow. It's a special, what did you expect? And Distant Storm. Unit can counterattack regardless of foe's range. At start of combat, if unit's HP is greater than or equal to 25%, grants attack +5 during combat. After combat, if unit attacks, deals 5 damage to the unit. It's a distant counter with an extra little bit of push. You may have seen this effect before. It's basically a distant counter version of what Duochrome literally just had. It's nice. It's... well, the HP condition is... or the HP... I guess, penalty, dealing 5 damage after combat, could be an issue for units trying to main tank. She doesn't really look like a full-on main tank here, or at least not the kind of tank. I mean, she's a flying unit, she's vulnerable to bows. That's enough of a reason not to run her as your main tank. But aside from that, if you're looking to win just one fight really hard, 5 extra attack on distant counter is lovely, good to have. And if you're kind of doing a dual phase strategy, because she does also like to initiate combat, then getting your HP low is actually legitimately helpful, because that's how you trigger your Wings of Mercy, that sort of effect. So bear that in mind. And the B slot, Faithful Loyalty. If armored or cavalry foe initiates combat, unit can counterattack before foe's first attack. Vantage with no health condition against the units she's effective against. Neutralizes effects that prevent units' follow-up attacks during combat, half NFU, and after combat grants Vantage to unit. Oh, so mixed phase Vantage play here. You get your Vantage always against armored or cavalry foes, but if you want to Vantage someone else, like say an infantry foe or a flying foe, you can still do that. You can run in, play a phase down a unit, and then Vantage for the rest of the team. Really interesting mixed phase Vantage strategy there. Cool. Very cool. And in the C slot, attack Death Rhine free. So, yeah. Is this unit going to be useful? I think so. Not maybe a, like, main unit of your team with that flyer weakness, obviously. Like, there are units out there who can just obliterate this Caeda. She seems like a very strong Vantage unit, but she does need to be able to initiate into something to Vantage everything, and I suspect she's also going to have the classic flaw of Vantage units where she does kind of need Vantage to win combats. Well, she might have strong defenses, she might not, we don't know, but I suspect that with Distant Storm chipping away at her hit points, she is going to be in a situation where if she misses the kill immediately with that Vantage attack, she's in a pretty bad looking spot, all things considered. So yeah, keep that in mind. But dual effectiveness means that a lot of things she'll be able to just Vantage down immediately, because effective damage is big, it's huge, it's massive, and the Canto is going to let you hopefully position for interesting plays where, because if you break, you might be able to Vantage down a whole team, but Vantaging down a whole team is still super risky, right? If one of those units can kill you, then you have issues, but well, go in, hit something, run away, get out of range, and then Vantage down for one thing that can actually follow far enough to hit you all the way out there. Maybe that's a good way of playing Caeda, maybe. I don't know, I couldn't tell you, but well, seems pretty interesting. Let's keep going, see her animations, and see what that funny pair-up was, and see who else is on the banner. Yep, paired up with a Marth. There. There's Vantage triggering, there's her obliterating that Red Cavalier. And yeah, it looks like she's a speed plus pair-up unit. We've got Sophis, we've got Legendary Leaf, Legendary Edelgard, Legendary Corin, Triandra, okay, Regan, Note, Malice, Legendary Fae, Ascendant Legion, and Astrid. And I would tell you the colours from here, but I'm actually going to wait for a little moment because we're going to do the little spark thing. And that makes guessing which colours you want way easier. Look, watch this. Watch this. If I pause right here, going colour by colour. Blue, Legendary Caeda, Legendary Fae, Note. That's two legendaries and a mythic. Note is still basically the Dark Season mythic to run because, I mean, who else are you going to run on Dark Season, right? You want that 7th slot, right? You want that 7th slot, how else are you going to get it? No, that's how. Plus also Pathfinder, really immensely strong defense mythic effect. Bear that in mind for when you're pathfinding things. Legendary Fae, really strong. Legendary Fae with her Miracle plus full heal is just really surprisingly good at tanking things and has a safety net against tank breakers who'd otherwise be able to kill her. Not a lot of units can say that. Miracle is always a really good effect to have on tanks, but being able to fully heal like that after triggering your Miracle, that's like doubly good. That's extra good. And of course, Legendary Caeda. If you want Legendary Caeda, there she is. Other colors that are interesting. I think colorless maybe is the next most interesting here. Legendary Corin is still a very strong unit and has juicy fodder. Or at least joint drive attack I've put on so many units now. Lovely to have. Ascendant unit. Pretty strong, pretty tanky, pretty high damage. Legendary Leaf has kind of fallen off a bit, mainly just because Harmonic Leaf exists, who does do the same thing as Legendary Leaf, but also is just better. Green, Triandra, really nice. Dancer Mythics, always great to have. I wouldn't quite put her quite as high as Mirabilis, just because she exists in the same season as Miller, but she is still a Dancer Mythic who's very strong. Legendary Edelgard, kind of sad. Was very fun for a short amount of time, but now, unfortunately for her, lives in a world where full Edelgard does exactly the same thing, but better, maybe? But also just has this slight issue of dying to various things. So that's a bit of an issue for her. Astrid, really strong support, pretty strong weapon as well, but nothing particularly groundbreaking, I would say. You probably know if you want Astrid. And then Red is all over the place, because Regen is still one of the best units in the game on offense, but you probably already have all the Regen you need. Pull more Regen if you need more Regen, but if you don't need more Regen, then she's Regen. Malice has Spurn, which is really good, and plus she's Malice, she's just very cool. And then there's Sophis. If you're summoning for Sophis now, in February of the year 2022, I don't know what to say, except for, hopefully she'll be on Remix soon. Sophis, cool concept, but very quickly got kind of sidelined as a mythic unit who was trying to do a little bit of everything and didn't really succeed at any of those things. And Sophis being there really means that the red color especially breaks my classic rule for these legendary mythic banners, where if you're pulling on a color, make sure you want all 3 units on that color, because if there is one unit on that color you do not want, the game will give that unit to you. So bear it in mind and stay safe summoning people. I'm pretty sure that's going to be everything, unless they explain what the new legendary effect does. No, I don't think they're going to. Let me know if you're thinking of summoning, and I will see you all very soon in the near future. Thanks for coming around, and yeah, give me your opinions on the banner. Penrost out.